So I have a couple of videos about tombrown, the production of tombrown and the packaging of tombrown, how to prepare tombrown. Yes, and a lot of questions came out after that video in the comment sections, okay, and I will be addressing those questions. I'm going to be answering those questions. I've written them down in a piece of paper and I'm going to be answering those questions. Please, if you are new here, my name is Nimanambe and I make a lot of videos about home remedies and then food recipes and of course business ideas and sometimes some live vlogs. Yes, so let's start with the first one. The first question is, please, what can replace mace? You know, one of the ingredients that are used in making tombrown is mace or corn. So this particular person was asking, please, what can replace mace? That means that if she doesn't want to use mace, what else can she use? Of course, you can use rice, okay? Rice is a replaceable choice that you can use. If you don't want to use mace or corn, you can equally use rice, okay? Another question says, how to make it smooth? How can I make my tombrown smooth? Of course, if you are not using a blender and you are using the grinding mill, you are going to the production site, the grinding site. You have to insist that they grind it several times. Like I always insist that it should be grinded like 4 to 5 times. Like I always insist anytime because I do it in large quantities. They know I'm doing it for business and of course they have to make it smooth for me. Yes, I do let them know that. So you have to insist that they should grind it smoothly for you. Aside that, your ingredients has to be very dry, like very dry, before you send it to the grinding mill for grinding. And of course, if you are doing it in small quantities and you are using just your blender, your dry blender, you have to make sure that you grind it so well. And if it is not that smooth, then you can sieve it, okay? Yes. So another question said, what type of rice? Another recipe of tombrown that I kept on my channel is one that has 4 cereals, okay? We have wheat, soya beans, groundnut, and then rice. Yes, so that particular person was asking what type of rice. Of course, you can use any type of rice of your choice, okay? But then in that video I use local rice. You can use white rice, you can use brown rice, any type of rice you have, you can use it. And another person said, can I add salt and flavor to my dates and tiger nuts mixed tombrown? Yes, of course you can add dates and flavor. You can add tiger nut flavor, you can add milk flavor. I always add salt. So though it's not everybody that wants salt to be added to their tombrown powder, but then you can add salt, okay? If you are doing it for sale, if you are doing it in large quantities, under the ingredients you have to make sure that you label salt added, so that whoever is buying it to prepare her tombrown porridge will know that there has been salt added and will adjust the salt or may not add any other salt, okay? So yes, you can add salt and you can add any flavor of your choice. I usually use milk flavor, okay? Milk powder flavor. Yes. And another question says, how long can the tombrown powder last? That is the shelf life. Okay, they are asking how long the tombrown powder will last before it spoils. Yes, so if you do it so well, your tombrown powder can last up to 6 months to a year, okay, without changing smell or scent or even taste. It can last 6 months to 1 year without changing smell, without it getting spoiled, okay? Yes, so all boils down to, I always say it in my video, it all boils down to you making sure that your ingredients are very dry. There's no any kind of moisture in those ingredients, so you are going to have a very nice tombrown, okay? Another question says, measurements in small quantity. Okay, I'm not writing the whole questions, the whole sentence of the question as it is in the comment section, but then I'm trying to make it in a way that it will be easy for all of us. So like the measurements of or the quantities, okay, the person want to prepare it in small quantity, not for sale or not for large production. So usually what I do is that I do use like 3 parts of carbohydrate to 1 part of protein. Okay, so if you are going to use soya beans as your protein, then if whatever measurement that you are going to use, if it is in small quantities, you might want to use a cup. Let's say your other carbohydrate cereals are supposed to be 3, right? Then you'll be using 3 cups of those ones, and then 1 cup of the soya beans, which is your protein that you are going to be using. You can add the dates and tiger nut as well, and you can also add your flavor and then your salt. Okay, so the next question says, must you soak and peel soya beans before preparing your tombrown? Yes, I often get a lot of questions regarding whether there's a need for you to soak and peel your soya beans. Yes, to me it is optional. Okay, some people are allergic to soya beans, and all boils down to the peels is the back of the soya beans. Okay, so and also for hygiene's sake, if you have time and you can do it, and you can soak it and then peel it, dry it before you process your tombrown, then that is so fine, that is fine. Okay, but then if you can't, it is not a must. And if no one is allergic to the soya beans, you can go ahead and then use it. Just make sure that you pick all the bad ones, pick the stones and everything if you are preparing in large quantities. Okay, but if it is a baby that you are going to prepare the tombrown for, I will advise you soak and peel the back. Okay, but then it's optional. Okay, it's all left onto you to decide. Another question says that, is it good for 4 months old? So there's this particular tombrown that I prefer, the 4 cereal mixed tombrown, that I use the wheat, the soya beans, the groundnut and the rice. The person is asking if it is good for a 4 months old baby. So I will not say it is good for a 4 month old baby, because usually you are supposed to start complementary feeding after 6 months of the baby's life. Okay, so I would not advise you to use any form of tombrown or my recipe for a 4 month old baby. Okay, yes, so I would say that you should use my recipes or the type of tombrown that I am preparing for a child above 6 months old. Okay, so let's continue. I don't want this video to be so long, so I think I will be answering them. Yes, in case there's other questions, I will make another video about that. Okay.